Well, good morning. Welcome to First Parish Unitarian Universalist of Medfield on this beautiful summer day. Welcome all. Welcome also to those of you who are streaming in from home. We're pleased to have you here as well. And I would invite all of you to join us following the worship service today for a social hour downstairs. This congregation first gathered in 1651 in this beautiful meeting house where worship was built in 1789, which was and is still now unceded ancestral lands of the Nipmuc, who inhabited this area for thousands of years prior to the arrival of the European colonists. These Puritan immigrants, our direct religious ancestors, arrived on these shores believing that they were God's chosen people. They built meeting houses and established towns all over Massachusetts, often by brutal force. And in doing so, they promoted physically, spiritually, and emotionally our white supremacy culture that still is with us today. So this morning, we acknowledge that this meeting house, our congregation, this town, our state, and our country are all part of this long, violent legacy. So holding all of these hard truths in our hearts, friends, we welcome you. Welcome to this place. Here we search for truth and understanding. Here we celebrate life and we contemplate its mysteries. Here we share healing and wholeness. So whoever you are, whatever you believe, wherever you come from, whomever you love, we welcome you to this congregation. Friends, welcome. Welcome to this space, this sanctuary of peace, where we come not only to create our best selves, but to also do the work of creating beloved community. We come together today as individuals, much like individual pieces of glass or pottery that are different sizes and shapes and colors, all of which are broken with imperfect, jagged edges, but somehow always beautiful. And while our pieces may not always fit together neatly or nicely, it is within this sanctuary, guided by our values and principles, that we gather together to create this beautiful mosaic. May the brokenness and beauty you find in one another create peace in this space, and may our hearts be filled with love. Friends, come, let us worship together. Now I'd invite Martha Castle to light our chalice.
This is the Hymn to the Light by David Breeden. Our light is the light of the sun, keeper of all we love. Our light is the light of the earth, provider of sustenance. Our light is the light of all living things, life precious like our own. Our light is the light of each of us, bound together in need and hope. Our light is the light of the cosmos, keeper of all we know.
Please rise in body or in spirit for the unison reading of our congregational covenant, which you'll find on the back page of your order of service. Today we're going to read lines 1, 2, and 6 together. Love is the foundation and spirit of our congregation, and we declare that every person is inherently worthy and has the right to flourish with dignity. As people of goodwill, we covenant with one another to share our joys and sorrows and care for one another in a connected and nurturing congregation. Now you're in for a treat. I'd invite the choir up to lead us all in singing For the Beauty of the Earth. You can remain standing if you'd like to sing along. It's number 21. Well, now we are going to begin our bridging ceremony. And as we begin, I would like to share a story. This is a story written by Sandra Cisneros entitled Women Hollering Creek. She writes, "What they don't understand about birthdays and what they never tell you is that when you're 11, you're also 10 and 9 and 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And when you wake up on your 11th birthday, you expect to feel 11, but somehow you don't. You open your eyes and everything's just like yesterday, only it's today. And you don't feel 11 at all. You feel like you're still 10 and you're underneath the year. You're underneath the year that makes you 11. Like some days you might say something stupid and that's a part of you that's still 10. Or maybe some days you might need to sit on your mother's lap because you're scared. That's a part of you that's 5. And maybe one day when you're all grown up, maybe you will need to cry like you're 3. And that's okay. That's what I tell Mama when she's sad and she needs to cry. Maybe she's feeling like she's 3. Because the way you grow old is kind of like an onion or like the rings inside a tree trunk, or like my little wooden dolls that fit inside one inside of each other. That's how it is being 11. You don't feel 11, not right away. It takes a few days, even weeks sometimes even months. When they say, how does it feel to be 11? Not until you're almost 12, you won't even feel like you're 11. And that's just the way it is. So in that light, I would invite William and Jackson, our two bridging seniors, to come forward. See how long this mic lasts. So William and Jackson, it's time to leave your parents. So today we're going to make a symbolic crossing over into adulthood. But as you do, I want to remind you that although you are becoming an adult, inside you still have that little 15-year-old, that little 9-year-old, and that little 3-year-old. It might take quite some time before it'll really sink in that you are an adult. I just turned 50 and I still rarely feel like an adult. But one of the things that you can count on is that the love that your parents have for you and the love that you have for your parents will only grow stronger as the years go by. So now, I need some help from the congregation. All of us here today, those who are willing and able, I'd invite you to come to the center aisle. And before you do that, I need somebody in the back, maybe Faye, to open that back door, because there's so many of us, we might need to keep going. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a tunnel. So you're going to stand in the center aisle face to face with one other person, put your arms up like this, right? Hold hands with the or just whatever. And we're going to make a tunnel, and it looks like that tunnel might have to go right out the front door, all the way down the steps and outside if need be. So those who are able, I'd invite you to do that. All right, now extend your arms. Becca and Martha will show us how. There you go. And keep going as far as we need to go. All right, how far are we going to go all the way to Walpole? All right, so friends, all of you in that tunnel, think about how long you've known these two gentlemen. And William and Jackson, as you pass through this tunnel slowly and reverently, I'd like you to notice the faces of all those in the congregation who helped nurture you throughout your life, those who helped to raise you, those who taught you what core UU values are, and those who love you dearly and will be behind you every step of the way as you venture forth into the next chapter of your life. All right, arms up. Be seated. You can go back to your seats if you'd like. But I do need William and Jackson back up here. I would also now invite and give space for any of William and Jackson's family members who might want to come forward and say a few words about their child. Yeah, all of you can come up, yeah. Who wants to? William and Jackson, you can just both sit here and listen with love and awe in your heart.
People always say being the middle child sucks. You get no attention and you're always being forgotten. I didn't mind it though. Having an older brother, it always seemed like he deserved the attention. And sure, I've been forgotten before, more than once actually, but it wasn't him, it was our parents. My brother would never be one to forget me. He always asks about where I'm going or what my plans are. He remembers what fast food I like. I won't forget about our backpacks trip. He knows my favorite color, number, and probably my Dunkin' order by now. He remembers random stories I tell him, stories which most people don't even listen to. And although we fought a lot when we were young, we grew out of it, and who I think are some of the best bonded siblings out there. I don't know if my friends' siblings that are jerks, or if you're just really great, but I definitely lucked out. Not all brothers stay up till 1 a.m. helping their sister write an essay that was due an hour ago. Or drive her and her friends anywhere they want without asking for anything in return, but mine does. I don't know how I'm going to pass English next year when you're away at college, or how I'll get places. But I do know one thing. I'll always have someone who will never forget me. So before you go, promise you'll live the life you want, the way you want, knowing there's someone who will remember you. Thank you for everything, Jackson. Congratulations. I love you and good luck.
I didn't have anything prepared, but frankly, I wasn't sure what Avery was going to say about her brother, so. But that was probably better said than anything I could say, so just wanted to say how proud we are of you, Jackson, and how thankful we are of this community, as it's been a constant part of the majority of Jackson's life. Starting from an RE when he was in first grade, all the way to being a Little Lights babysitter today. Thank you. We're very proud of you, Jackson. Best of luck, and I know this place will always hold a warm place in your heart.
She cried, so it's okay. William, you have never been ordinary. From the day you entered the world rapidly and quite dramatically, you have been one of a kind, aggressively determined to follow your own path, aggressively determined, bushwhacking through life, as it were, and that single-mindedness often made it difficult for you to find a comfortable place among your peers. At any point, you could have decided to just go along to get along. Like in elementary school, when you had long hair and decided, since it was already long, that you were going to grow it out until it was long enough to make a wig for a child, because they probably didn't get many donations that color. And your peers were not kind at all, and you could have changed your mind at any point, and it would have been easy to just go get a haircut, but you didn't. And it didn't even seem like it occurred to you to just change what was important to you in order to make other people like you. And nowadays, I know you see yourself as a people pleaser who doesn't like people to be upset with you. And on the surface, that might be what people see, but underneath, we still see that bushwhacking, long-haired boy who never even considered changing paths to just get along. Our brilliant, hardworking, passionate, compassionate, endlessly funny, freak flag waving, amazing, darling boy. You know who you are. You found your people, you found your passion, and more importantly, you are open to wherever that takes you. We, your family, and your community will always be here cheering you on, lifting you up, or giving you a safe place to land when you need just a minute to rest your wings. We're so proud of you, and I was going to say we're excited to see where life takes you, but I think you'll be the one doing the driving. So I'll say we're excited to see what you do with your one wild and precious life. We're so proud of you.
So I want to share 3 memories. I'll try to keep it concise. First, you were in the womb of this lovely lady, so she felt you first, but I caught you when you came out, and I saw you first. The second memory is when you were maybe 10, and William, actually, sorry, there are two parts to this memory. William, as Mary Chris alluded to, could be quite difficult and insistent and stubborn. And at one point during Thanksgiving, there was all of a sudden a younger child from another family who was the center of attention, which is what William had been used to doing. Maybe this is when he was 7. And he went out of the house, and the back of our house, no? Okay. All right, so I'll tell you, this is my favorite parenting. All right, I'll give you another one. So Mary Chris and I went to a therapist at one point. This, I think, was when he was maybe 9. And William could be very argumentative and insistent. And she went through the whole series of steps, which we were already doing, Tell him you don't enjoy it, ask him to talk differently, tell him you're done with the conversation, tell him you're going away, go up to your room and close the door. And we said, yeah. And we said, and William follows us and kicks the door for 20 minutes. And she didn't have anything to say after that, the therapist. One year when we were on Cape Cod, William was out of hand, again, probably the same age. And I went through the steps of telling him I was going to have to take him outside. I picked him up. I kept telling him what I was going to do if he didn't stop. Walked down to the beach. Finally got to the point of saying, William, if you don't stop, we're going in the water. So I walked in the water. William, if you don't stop, I'm going to dunk you. He didn't stop. So down we went into the cold waters in the evening. And then when we came up, he was loving it. He said, can you do that again? That was great. And then the last thing I want to say to you, William, is, as Mary Chris said, I've so enjoyed watching you pursue with great intensity and taking up a lot of your time and making your life very busy, the development of your musical theater talents. And I was very happy that the last show you did at the high school, I've never seen you better. And you are.
Yet.
Right. And I am so, so proud of you. So proud of you. I love you.
And before you leave, I do have a little gift for both of you. This is a collection of poetry by Mary Oliver, who's, in my mind, kind of the patron saint of Unitarian Universalism. Speaking of live your wild and precious life, there you go. So take these, please. Hope you find some words of wisdom in there. And as your journey takes you to the next chapter of your life, I hope it's amazing. And remember, you'll always have a home here at First Parish, no matter what. So go in peace. And with that, why don't we sing the children out to religious education? Now I'd invite forward Bill Weiner, our chair, and Martha Castle, our vice chair and incoming chair of the board. We'll see. See if she passes the vote today, Well, first of all, I just want to say this is our recognition time of the service, and I just want to recognize all of you, because all of you in big and small ways have contributed so much to the life of this congregation, and we thank you for all you've done, all the committees you've been on, and teams you've been a part of, and volunteering, and setting up coffee hour, and helping out with all kinds of things. You truly are this congregation, so thank you all. But today we want to go a step above and beyond, because there are some people in this church who have chosen not just to serve on a committee, but to chair a committee, to be in the leadership, which is a bigger responsibility. We have people who have decided to be on the executive board, which is a big responsibility, and we have an amazing staff. So today we want to especially recognize those who are in leadership here at First Parish for this past year. So with that, I want to start with our amazing staff. Eva's the only one who's currently in the room, but I took them all out for our staff appreciation dinner on Friday and told them all this personally. But I just want you to know, Eva, what an asset you are to this congregation. And how many years have you been here? Is it? So 18 years? So Eva Kendrick, amazing. I also just want to say, those who haven't met Sandra Andriassi, you may not have met her in person, you may have emailed with her, top notch. She's been here about as long, 16 years, I believe. Top notch, this place wouldn't run without her. And also, we're so thrilled to have Kate here this year as our new CRE, and we're just thrilled with her energy and enthusiasm. So all of them have just, I couldn't be happier to have such a wonderful staff. So thank you all. So Eva, since you're here, you get to come and you can help yourself to a flower and a chocolate. I know it sounds like Valentine's Day, but it's because I love you all. So.
So I first want to thank Don Rolfe, who is not here today. He's not here today. He is here most Sundays and has done just an enormous job as the head of the annual fund drive this year. And we thank him.
Margaret, do you want to maybe, I think you know where Don lives, right? You want to come take this for him? You can say it's from me.
I have the distinct pleasure of honoring Mary Corthell, who, candidly, it's a hard position to chair, the annual fund drive, right? So not many of us like asking for money, but really helping us thrive as a community, and appreciate all of your dedication. So come on up.
With the blemish to the ceiling, it is no surprise to anyone that chairing buildings and grounds at First Parish is a constant challenge filled with unexpected surprises. So with great pleasure, we thank Nate Raza.
So Becca Cornetz, you do so much around here, and thank you for chairing the Social Justice Incubator. And I just always appreciate your voice of activism, of reminding us, like you did this morning, of what's happening in our wider world and how we can engage in acts of justice and equity. So thank you for all your leadership.
All right, Jess Raza. You are an amazing leader in our church community, so really want to thank you for all that you've done, particularly with the Membership Outreach Committee. You've been fighting that fight for quite some time, and getting all of us to be engaged is an amazing feat, so thank you for all that you've done.
And this time it's my turn to recognize the other co-chair, Faye Kalmbach of Membership Outreach. Again, a tremendous job in difficult circumstances. We really appreciate all you do.
All right, Dewey, our fearless chair of Worship and Music Committee. So appreciate all your leadership. And I notice at our committee meetings, you have this quiet calm where you're able to facilitate in such a way that is just gentle and loving, and you listen really well. And I just really appreciate you as the chair of Worship and Music. So, come on.
Tian Jennings is not here today, but she's done a tremendous amount with or she is here. She left, right? Yeah, okay. So she's doing what she does best and really bringing such joy to our children. So thank you for that. We'll get it for you next time. Yeah, you stay there.
And Kirsten Debate, the REC co-chair, along with Tian. This year has been, I think, a little easier with the new CRE, although you guys have provided the training wheels, but certainly you did so much in the year without a CRE that this recognition is certainly appropriate. Kirsten?
Well, next we want to honor Patty, who's also not here right now. Patty Castle is one of the co-chairs of the nominating committee. It's the one committee in the church I know nothing about because they're literally not allowed to talk to me. But my understanding is what they do is they help find people to serve on the executive board, which is a difficult task because it truly is the part of the church that requires probably the most time. So thank you to Patty for that. And I think you might know where she lives. Yeah.
And then in the same spirit, the nominating committee co-chair, Margaret Rolfe, who, like Patty, has done so much behind the scenes, contacting many of you. I mean, many of you know more about their work than Rev Dave does, I suspect. So, Margaret, thank you very much.
The first person I want to recognize is Marshall Sugarman, who served on the executive board all of last year and part of this year. And he was such a powerful voice on the board. If anybody recalls when Barry Finkelstein came to be a consultant here at the church, he really, I would say, led that charge to make that happen. And I think that guidance we got is still with us, and we really appreciate all Marshall has done to serve this congregation. So does anybody see Marshall? Or if you want to, but otherwise I'll get the card to him.
Also on the executive board for part of the year was Ann Cunningham, who joined when Marshall stepped down, I believe, and it was really great to have you on the committee.
Wonderful. All right, and our newest member of the executive board is Helen Beatty, who just joined a little while ago and will be serving next year as well. So Helen, I'm so looking forward to working with you and getting to know you even better and drawing on all of your years of experience here at First Parish. So thank you.
I want to thank Glenn Debate for joining us on the executive board. We keep on roping folks back in, so appreciate your willingness to participate yet again, and really appreciate all that you do for us.
Jeanette Rule serves First Parish in so many capacities. One in which she has been particularly helpful to me is as a board member these years, keeping us on track, focusing on strategic mission-related issues, really invaluable service.
Kay Bennett, I know you're here. Kay's here. Kay, I so thank you for your years of service as the clerk of the board. You keep us on task, you take minutes, you make sure that we don't go too long, you write these wonderful minutes we get. I just feel like the work that you do is the work that makes the committee work. You know, it's behind the scenes, it's keeping all the ducks in a row. So thank you, Kay, for your years of service. I appreciate that.
A huge thanks goes to our treasurer, Michael Taylor, who has been so hardworking, so careful, so insightful, and just indispensable. It's hard to imagine someone who has done more for First Parish this last year. Thank you so much, Michael.
All right, well, now to our dream team, our chair and vice chair. Martha, I've really so appreciated you being as vice chair for the last few years and that you've agreed to step up to chair the committee next year. And I feel like you're able to lead our discussions in such a helpful way and to hear all voices and to get us moving forward. Somehow, and I don't know how you do this, you somehow move the agenda along, but do it in a way that doesn't feel forced. So please, if you could give me the trick on that, I'd appreciate it. Thank you, Martha. So appreciate all your work. And Bill Wyans, I'm actually sad to be saying this because I've been here for 6 years and you've been on the board the whole time. First 2 years as clerk, you did a spectacular job. In the last 4 years as board chair, you did 2 years during COVID and you said, I'm gonna stay on and do another 2. So I so appreciate that. If you don't know, Bill and I talk most Wednesday mornings. We connect, we talk about all the things that are happening in the congregation, and I couldn't have asked for a better partner in leading this congregation and trying to help us move forward with who we are. So I appreciate you. Friends, I wonder if you've ever wondered what the you from 10 years in the future would say if they could get in a time machine and come see the current you. What do you think they would say? I mean, imagine it. Imagine the future year appears suddenly, right now, here. Perhaps a bit older, a bit wiser maybe, perhaps a few more laugh lines. Maybe they carry themselves with a calm confidence that you haven't quite grown into yet. What would they say to you? This isn't just a question for William and Jackson who are graduating and heading off to their next chapter in life. It's a question for all of us. What would your future self say to you today? Would they urge you to worry less and love more? Would they say, I wish you had trusted yourself sooner? Or maybe, keep on going, it's worth it, you'll get there. Maybe they'd smile and say, you're doing so much better than you think you are. Now, I'd invite you to stretch that image a bit further. What if a future congregation, say 10 or 15 years from now, what if they could step into the sanctuary this morning? What if they stood here among us, our spiritual descendants, looking back at all of us, this community here in this moment? What would they say to us? Would they thank us for keeping that flame alive? Would they look around at our children, our songs, our chalice light and say, yes, this is where it began for us? Or would they urge us to take a bolder step? Would they urge us to make more room, to dig deeper, to live our values with more courage? Friends, whether you know it or not, the future is calling. It's calling not from some distant, unknowable place, but from the path we're already on. We build the future one decision at a time, yes. One Sunday at a time, yes. One conversation, one act of love, one moment of courage at a time. So what matters most right now? Right now, for us as individuals and for us as a congregation. Future you might say, take care of your soul. Don't lose sight of wonder. Don't get so busy surviving that you forget how to live. And I believe that future us, the congregation that is yet to come, might say something very similar. They might say, despite all those long annual meetings, all those boring committee meetings where all of those hard conversations are discussed, budgets are pondered over, remember who you are and why we gather together in sacred community. They might say, remember to nurture your relationships. The health of your congregation isn't measured, friends, by attendance. It isn't measured by budget lines or the next building repair issue, but by how deeply we care for one another, how well you listen, how bravely you love. They might remind us that our mission is not maintenance, but ministry. Not preserving the past, but preparing the way that is yet to come. So what advice would they give us? I think they might say something like, yes, be rooted in your traditions, but don't get stuck. Hold fast to your Unitarian Universalist values, that all are inherently worthy and deserve to flourish with dignity, that we value the free and responsible search for truth and meaning, that we respect the interdependent web of all of existence. And these aren't just dusty words. They're a call to action, a reminder that our faith is not something we believe, it's something we do. Our UU faith is an action verb. Did we make space for everyone who needed a spiritual home? Future generations might ask. They might ask, how well did we live who we claim to be? Do we ask the hard questions about inclusion, about justice, about equity, even when they make us feel uncomfortable? Did we use our collective voice to speak out against injustice? Did we embody hope in a world that so often tempts us with cynicism and despair? They just might help us remember why we come together each Sunday. Not just for coffee and conversation. Of course, that's lovely. We come because something sacred happens when we gather together. We remind each other who we are and what we want to be. When we come together, we share our deepest joys and sorrows. And in doing so, we remember that we're not alone. We make space for silence, for reflection, for beautiful music. And in that space, something deep stirs within us. A spirit, a sense of connection, a deep sense of belonging. A future congregation might tell us to protect that sacred space. Don't let the urgent crowd out the important. Make room for mystery. Keep the flame alive. Please, not just the flame of the chalice, but the flame of commitment, of courage. Be brave, take risks. Don't be afraid to fail. The future we dream of doesn't arrive fully formed. I hope you know that. It's co-created by people, just like you. those who care enough to show up, those who take those risks, who believe enough to act. That's the gift that we can give them, our future selves, our imperfect, honest, wholehearted effort to build a better world. So, friends, today as we conclude our regular church year, as we disperse and head off in various directions over the summer, we're facing a world that can sometimes feel dysfunctional and feel broken and sometimes downright mean. Let's try to remember those future voices. Let them remind us of the beauty of the community that is with us, even if we're apart for a little while. Let them remind us to care for each other fiercely and tenderly. Let them remind us that we are part of a legacy that stretches far into the past and far into the future. Future is calling. Let us answer not with fear, but with faith. Not with hesitation, but with hope. No matter what, let's answer it together. So may it be. Amen. And let's hold all of this in our hearts as we enter into a time of silent meditation. Spirit of life, Spirit of love, and feel your warmth here in this room. The deep connection we have with one another. The bittersweet sadness of knowing we may be apart for some time. But help us to remember that even if we're not physically in the same space, we're all just a phone call away. All just a short drive to meet for coffee, to listen to someone who's struggling, to share all those wonderful adventures we've been on. I believe that's what our future self would truly want us to do. Connect with those we love. Have those deep conversations that sometimes we avoid. And to remember that we're not alone. So may it be. Amen. Now I'd invite Duncan Glover to introduce the offering.
Good morning. Today's offering will be shared equally between First Parish Medfield and UU Mass Action. UU Mass Action has a vision of a world where everyone is honored and valued, and their mission is to organize and mobilize UUs in Massachusetts to confront oppression. You may recall that Claire Mueller from UU Mass Action spoke from this pulpit during our climate action service last April. Our offering will now be taken. Please donate generously.
Now please rise in body and spirit for our closing hymn, This Little Light of Mine. If you need the words, it's 118 in your gray hymnal, but you probably don't. And now as we take our leave from this sacred space, may each of us bring happiness into one another's life. May each of us be surprised by all of the gifts that surround us. May each of us be enlivened by constant curiosity. And may we remain together in spirit till the hour comes that we meet again. Go in peace. I'll now extinguish our chalice, but may its light and warmth stay with us until we meet again. Here ends our worship. Let our service begin.